feels kind of weird having two Let's Talk episodes one after the other, but I have some other things on my mind. So here we are with another episode of Let's Talk. If you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I posted a reel of a poem that I wrote, kind of explaining vaguely my story. And to be honest, that was really scary because most of the time this is the sort of thing that people would hide from the world. They wouldn't want people to know. Part of me was subscribing to that kind of mindset, like, why would I want to tell people what happened to me? Like, what if they think less of me or think that I'm just sharing it to get attention? But the bigger part of me was like, no, people need to hear my story so that they can relate and see that they're not alone. And, I can just bring awareness to how many people have gone through something similar. And hopefully someone would be encouraged by my story and the healing that I am going through now and see that if they've had something similar to happen to them, it doesn't have to define them. And I feel like if you just met me on the street or whatever, you wouldn't really be able to tell that what happened to me. Yes, it has changed me a lot, but through the grace of God and through a lot of healing and introspection and inner work, it doesn't really affect my day-to-day that much anymore. Yes, there are things that stemmed from that experience that will never be able to be changed, but I've been able to accept that that's just a part of who I am now and found ways to work with it or cope with it and not let it define me. If you haven't seen that yet, I will link my Instagram down below. I am supposed to be putting my laundry away while talking to you, and I just totally forgot that that's what I was supposed to be doing. I posted that reel on Friday. It is now Sunday at 7:26 in the evening, and I'm just now recording a video that needs to go live 2 days from now. But over the weekend, just kind of processing through the fact that I just shared my story with the entire world if they choose to go to my profile and look at it, it got me starting to think about the seasons of life, I guess, and that this is a season where I'm going through some difficult healing and just being sad a lot more than usual. And at first I was like, this is not good. I don't want to just be sad all the time. But I finally did go get counseling. I went to 4 sessions over 2 months, and it was really eye-opening to just have her tell me straight up and label what had happened to me. And that made me realize just how bad it actually was. I guess I hadn't really let myself realize what had happened. And once I did, it was kind of just a gut punch of, oh wow, yeah, that actually happened to me. And I guess I've kind of just been realizing that it's okay if this season of my life is a lot of healing that does look like being sad a lot, or just randomly thinking about something and crying. There's a lot of emotions to be worked through with this. Just giving myself the grace to be able to spend this season in healing and not feel like I should be doing something else or this time was wasted. And another thing I was thinking about is how when I was almost 18, well, let me preface this. My parents had a rule that I couldn't get in a relationship until I was 18, which smart in my opinion. So when I was almost 18, I was like, no way. I'm turning 18, I could get in a relationship. Wouldn't it be so cool if I got in a relationship this summer? And that was kind of my mindset for a couple months. Looking back now, I'm like, girl, no. I am so glad that I did not get in a relationship that summer, because there has been a ton of stuff that has happened since that summer that really would have been brutal to drag a boyfriend through, to be perfectly honest. And now in this season, all this healing that I'm going through would also be unfair to drag someone else through and have them have to see the amount of pain that I'm having to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I just feel like it will be so much healthier for me to work out all of this on my own before getting in a relationship, so that I can be healthier when I get in a relationship. You know, they say that hindsight's 20/20. And it's true. Like, not only have I gone through a lot in the last 3 years, I've also changed a lot because of everything I've gone through and just stepping out onto my own-ish. Like, once I turned 18, Mom was kind of like, you know how we've taught you. You know what the Bible says. Now it's time to decide for yourself what you're going to believe. And I'm not going to make those decisions for you anymore. I'm going to let you make your own decisions. And I am really glad that she did that. And I have been making my own decisions. And she does not see me any differently for any decisions that I might be making differently than how she taught me. And I really appreciate that. And because of having to make my own decisions and decide what I believe for myself, I have changed. So if I had gotten in a relationship the summer I turned 18, I don't feel like I'm really the same person, and that relationship likely would have ended, depending on, you know, how flexible the guy was and what his standards were in relation to what mine were and what mine are now. I was messaging one of my friends on Instagram about this whole realization, and she was like, yeah, it's funny how we can like look back and be like, okay, God, I see you. Like, the decisions that God made, whether to answer our prayers with a yes or a no, might have been difficult to accept in that moment. Like, I don't even remember, but I feel like I was praying that I might get in a relationship. I don't even remember if I was praying that specifically, but I am so glad that God decided that it was not going to be a yes. And I guess that's just one other thing that I've been realizing, that sometimes God doesn't answer our prayers with a yes, I will take your pain away. He answers with a yes, I will be with you through the journey, and I will change you for the better through the journey, and you will thereby have a story to help other people through the journey. I just wanted to share those thoughts with you all. I'm going to finish putting away my laundry, and I will see you in the next video.